Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. Oh, hello, new viewers. We have been away for a while. I've been coming up with new ideas, doing different things. I had a whole plan of things of what I wanted to do for this channel, but certain things haven't turned up, certain things haven't happened, and I've been unable to do it. But what I want to do is state of the address, like they do in America, of what's going right and wrong. I am currently walking my dog, taking him out for a walk. Say hello, Freddie. Good boy. Yeah, so the chins are back. The big ridiculous headphone is here. And basically this is going to be, I don't know how long this is going to be, but this is my take on what's going right and what's going wrong at Reading Football Club. So there's different ways I could do this. So I'm going to start from the top down. So let's start from the board and the owners. Let's work our way down. So my humble take is I feel like Di loves the club, wants to do well for it, but I feel like he thought this was going to be a lot easier than what it was going to be. And I feel like he come in and he thought, throw money at a wall and we'll win promotion. What I don't think he took into account is just how much of a challenge is for Reading. Yes, we've done it twice before and we've done it this and that, but times have changed, things have changed, everything changes, progresses, gets worse, gets better, everything happens for a reason. And one of the things that I've really come out of what I've seen is he's made a massive mistake. He's now having to sort out the mistakes that he's done. And it is correct. Fans are worried about the money he's pumped in. I think it was like 90 million he's pumped in. And he's pissed it up on the wall with transfers. And when the EFL have given us restrictions, as soon as they let go, we go and spend 8 million on a striker. Cool. So there's understandable that. There's also, I understand the people that are saying, what if he gets up and walks away tomorrow? It's very, very rare that I see an owner, I may be bird blind, so please put in the comments down below how blind I am. By what I see, is very rare that we had Zigrovic and we're always going to be worried about that. The owner pumps that much money into a club and then the next minute walks away. So that has never been a worry on my mind, him walking away and leaving. The worry I have is, and the main worry I have is, where does all this money go? And yeah, we could talk about wages, and we'll get onto wages and players' wages and earning them, and everything. So let's get into this first topic of wages. We'll do that first off. So we've got a number of players that have been given bumper pay deals in the past that are not working out. Liam Moore, but let's look at the. So I'm going to do a bit mix and match of everything that comes straight to my mind. I do apologise if you get loads of cards and by a busy main road. So let's talk about performances. Raphael hasn't been the greatest, but he's the best keeper we've got by a country mile. And the issue we have is because of Southwood. Lack of experience, lack of, I don't really know, he just hasn't got that it factor that I feel like he would need at the moment to take over. That's why I don't think he's in that position. You've got Yeardom, who, I think Adam pointed this out very cleverly on our Instagram live that we did after the game very quickly, was he was Barnsley captain. He was brought into the club to take over from Chris Gunter. He was brought in to be a leader in an area of the field that we need leaders in. The right back position to control the wingers and the centre backs as well to help them is a position that very underrated in certain circumstances. You haven't got to have a Trent or a Wan-Bissaka. You need someone that's in the middle, and Yeardom was brought in to do that, who could defend, can go forward when he needs to go forward and that. But his leadership skills is missing massively. Let's go with the next one, Michael Morrison. former Birmingham captain, come in, done excellent when he first come in, done really well. The games he missed, we played very poorly in. He was one of those crucial players that we've had to keep fit the whole time. Same system as it was last season, but he's gone missing. Where's his leadership? Where's his mentality gone? Next one, Liam Moore, been here for 5-6 years now. People are coming across saying he's the worst captain we've ever had. That's not a discussion. That's an opinion. I wouldn't say he's the worst captain we've ever had. I personally don't think he's been a terrible player during the whole stint of him playing here. But there is a common theme with Moore. When things don't go well, he goes hiding. And that's one of the things that I found. And Niall is correct. Niall on Twitter, who was also on this podcast, is correct in what he says. Is the thing that was really telling for me, and I don't know what about you guys, was after the Huddersfield game getting battered 4-0, the manager comes out every game, no matter win, lose or draw, and we'll get into him in a minute, and I'll say if I'm pound no winner out at the end. But for me, Tom Holmes to come out, the only player to come out and talk, is rather telling, because for me that's an easy social media push. That's easy for the club to push an agenda. That's easy for them to go, look, one of our own to come out to come and talk to you guys about our honeybeers. Right, we love Tom Holmes and McIntyre. We got full respect for them because they try hard. Tom McIntyre hasn't had a good start of this season, but he has done well in the season before. So why hasn't any of those three, Yedon, Morrison or Moore, come out after the game to talk about it? Sam Baldock said before he left the season before he left about Blackburn, about there's things going on behind the scenes. I don't think it is behind the scenes. I think it's more players. And that's the worry for me, is why wasn't any of those three the ones to come and go, look, we'll pay back that bloke that bought all those donuts on that coach drive. We'll pay for all the fans that have come to say sorry. And actually, we pay you guys, and the club pays you fucking a lot of money. And you guys know that we're in a financial trouble. Yeah, pay cuts. We're not talking about pay cuts. We're talking about good gestures. A good gesture goes quite a far way. Someone turns around to me and goes, oh, Liam Moore's paid for your way ticket. Here's a refund. I go, oh, fair fucking play. Good lad. Or the club have, or Di has. Then I'll go, okay, they know that there's an issue and then they're trying to solve it. But when you get a 21-year-old, I think he is, doing it, and then at the same time, with Tom McIntyre playing left back, he can't play left back. He really struggled. He was at fault for a lot of goals, and against the Preston game where everyone thought he was fucking Paolo Maldini, the man couldn't control the ball on the floor. He could good at heading. I don't want my left back to header. I want my left back to get down the ball, get down the wing and defend. Good he can header, fair play. Give him a Peter Crouch award. But he's not doing that. People saying about Ethan Bristow. To me, personally, he's not a left back. To me, I think he's more of a winger. He's got that winger's edge from what I've seen from before. And he has that cutting edge that I want to see more from him. What I want to see from him is when he picks that ball up at the defenders, run at them, go at them, do a few step overs. You don't have to be Ronaldo trickery or Messi. You just need to run at them, terrify them. And I feel like if he added that to his game, he could be for the massive future at Reading. And then let's go on to the midfielders, Laurent and Reno, who both of them last season were Mr. Consistent, were Mr. this, Mr. that. This season, Laurent more than Reno, in my opinion, has been shocking, absolutely terrible. And that's my worry, is we gave him Player of the Year. Shrewsbury fans told us he wasn't going to be that great and it was inconsistent, and I think he's now being found out again. He wants that move to the Premier League. Fair play to him. Go for it. But if you don't fucking pull your finger out and try for Reading and try and help them in the situation they're in, you think that a club in the Premier League is going to look at someone that's been fighting relegation in the Championship? Then what are you going to do? try and swindle yourself a new 2-year contract at Reading after you've already told them they're not going to do it. Same with Reno as well, Mr. Consistent. For me, I'd give him like a 5-year deal, because he's having a bad start, but I think that's the poorest he's been. He's played in every single position, and for me, he's one of the most consistent players that we've had in a very long time, and that's why I would keep him for a very long time. Then we'll go on to John Swift. Now, I am one for selling John Swift. If someone gave me $6 million, I would take their hands off him easily. The issue with me and with John Swift is injuries, not his playing ability, because when he's on it, he's one of the best players in the Championship. And I don't think there's denying his ability that if his injuries did not hinder him, then he would be playing in the Premier League right now. And we could look at it one of two ways. We could look at it as the club's fault, and it's becoming more consistent than it is the club's fault with injuries. But then you've got to look at the player, going, right, you've done the same injury about 50 times now. What's going on? And he's missed so many games as well at the same time. I think I worked out a few weeks ago, he's missed, if you count all of his injuries up, he's missed a season and a half worth of football. Now, to a professional, that's shocking. That's terrible. That's the worst thing that can happen. And he hasn't helped himself. And that's my issue. We've got wingers. When I say we've got wingers, we've got Ovi Ejaria, who got COVID. Seems like someone that doesn't enjoy it, or it comes across as that. But we don't know with Ovi. I think one of the poor things with the social media team is we don't actually know the players. And that's one of the things down to the Reading social media team. Is we don't know the players. We don't know what they're like, what they do like. You've got clubs in the Premier League that do weekly things about their players, have a laugh, have a joke, play games. Right? What have we got? We get good graphics. That's it. And that's where our massive downfall is you'll get a lot more. You've got Derby. They're in a terrible situation. They look like they had no hope at the start of the season. And Rooney and the team have come together and now created a club that looks like is going to do very well this season, if they stick together and don't get too many injuries. And then you got Reading, who on paper is a mid-table team, by far. But we know nothing about them. We know nothing about anything. We don't know what their mentality's like, who their person is, what they're like. We know Liam Moore because he does a lot of things every so often. Well, not a lot of things, he does everything so often. But we know nothing else. All I know is Raphael loves God, and he loves Sao Paulo, because that's where he is in Brazil. That is about it. And Ovi's one of those that I'm very sceptical of. I think he's an excellent player on his day, as well as Swift, one of the best players on his day in the Championship. Why's my dog just stopped there? Come on, good boy. But why does he keep picking up all these niggling injuries? And it goes with our physio team, doesn't it? Same with Jow. I didn't rate him this season at all. Saw him against Preston and thought he was one of the laziest fuckers I've ever seen up front. I couldn't watch it. It got to a point where I would just fucking sub him off. Femi made him look good, and that's coming from an 18-year-old. This is his first season in the first season in the Championship, first professional appearance, and he scores. And everyone goes, yes, Jow did a back heel for Swift. All right. What fucking else did he do? But that's the issue with the team. I don't understand. There is no Puskas as well. He is the easiest scapegoat there is for this Reading team because of his price tag. If there wasn't a price tag on him, then half of our fans wouldn't do that. Actually, they would, because they'd just blame anyone. And that's the issue. We're finding players, but we're not thinking about this. How is it Puskas' fault that our defence can't defend? And he's up on his own. We all know that he's not a lone striker. And when Femi was there, it made his life easier because he would run off him. But because we haven't got that with him, what are we going to do? Blame him again for humping the ball to him about 50 yards for him to then control it, and no one's there for him to go to. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So we've had a rant about the players. My player situation is that, and I feel like the club need to do more. The players have to step up. The players are the ones that are letting us down by letting a 21-year-old come out to face the music when they should be doing it. And it's just completely and utterly bollocks with everything they've done. So let's go on to tactics. So my opinion on tactics is we've got good setup. I feel like we are good in the way we set up. We've got two flat back four that can wing backs or wingers. They turn to wingers when they're up there. That will produce the width. Two central defensive midfielders that are meant to be the brick wall before you get to the defenders. And if they do get through to the defenders, then those defenders deal with it. And that's their job. You're playing basic football here. This is nothing spectacular. This is not Marcel Bielsa's tactics where you have the left back running after the right wing back. You don't have the centre forward going chasing their left back. Nothing like that. It is basic football. You've got John Swift, who just sits behind Gel, that will just spray the ball around when he finds gaps. He's not going to be doing that late run into the box. He's going to be the one that sits back a little bit on the edge of the box or moves around freely behind the striker to find the space to get a pass out. Then you've got the left attacking midfielders and the right attacking midfielder. You can't class them as wingers because they're not out and out unless Junior Hoylett plays, and we've got other players there as well that can go and do a job. But at this precise moment, they're not wingers. So their basic job is to get the ball up in midfield and pass it around to try and get Swift and whoever is up front and in there. So it's not tactics that you're going, oh Jesus, this is complicated. This is what Barcelona do. This is not tactics that you go, oh look at this. This is a Paunovic / like Pep Guardiola special. So to me, the tactics are not the issue because they've been playing with the same formation, same tactic. A little bit of a change in the Bristol game for the first 20 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, whenever we were 2-0 down. And then they went back, they reverted back. And that's the thing, that it's not a different formation to last season. So what has changed? Why has the two centre defensive midfielders not tackling? Why is there no passion in the tackles? Why is there no one leave it in there, remember them? Do you know what I mean? Like the centre backs are not giving a tackle. Like Liam Moore did a couple against Bristol, but then he didn't play well as well. But he was doing it. Morrison has done fuck all since the start of the season, and that's the worry. Is what has changed behind the scenes. We're hearing that John O'Shea with set pieces was the set piece master. That's why that's gone away, and that's why it's gone. But why is the defenders? I can't see how one man has completely changed the way it goes. Sorry about that, my dog just did a massive shit. Not that you wanted to know that, but I wish that you know. So yeah, so the tactics is not an issue, and I don't believe that it's one man that has changed the whole system for us to defend. Zonal marking is a massive question. For me, when I was a coach, and I can only go by what I would do when I was a coach, and say my personal opinion. I didn't say I was any good, but I'm just saying I use zonal marking because it blocks out areas of the pitch. But then you need your team to actually get behind that and do it for it to work properly. And they just seem they can't be asked. And that's the major question I think we all need, that we all need to be asking is what has made these players and what has made this club from the beginning of last season where they were right up for it. Winning games, going away at Middlesbrough 0-0, yeah, but in their game. But keeping clean sheets. Doing the thing that we did really well. Getting clean sheets, drowning out results at a certain point, and doing really well. And then all of a sudden, it's just seemed to have gone the complete opposite direction. I have no understanding why that is. And that's the massive worry I think we've all got to think about is why has this changed? Is it the manager that's changed the stuff? Is it the players over the summer have decided that they see the financial issues and they're just draining out the money? Not that I would ever say that players are doing that, but that's a question that needs to be answered. These are questions that I feel like we need to be answered, not by Elm Park Royals, because as we all know, they just like getting the violins out and getting all the good stuff for themselves. But we need to find ways of, or what they need to do now is intrigue these new signings into doing it. Let's look at these new signings. I see a lot of people saying that there's no policy, there's no identity. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with that completely and entirely. There is identity ridden. There is, if you're young enough, you're good enough. Whether that's a matter of, if we didn't have an embargo, would that still happen? That's a matter of if, buts and maybes. But one thing we could say with Paunovic is he's brought so many youth players through and made them feel special in the first team that it's worked. Elise would not have gotten a chance. He might have under Bowen, but with Paunovic, he's got more of a chance and got treated better than anyone. And now look where he is now. He could be playing in the Premier League once he gets fit. Femi Aziz, another one. Ethan Bristow, Tom McIntyre, Tom Holmes. You've got other players. Jack Clark, I think his name is, coming into the first team in there as well. Ethan Bristow, Shipland, Stacey, all these type of players that are players that we could see might have a future at Reading, but they're being used, they're being utilised, they're being welcomed. And that's the one positive we've got, and that's the main positive, and that's our identity that I feel like we've got at this club. If you look at the signings, you've gone for, we went previously for young players that needed a start in the game, and we gave them the opportunity for that. We're now going for players like, or we signed players like Alan Halavanovic, who is Croatian, was at one point wonder kid. Just needs a year at Birmingham, rated him very highly, and now he's come to us. So he has something about him. Tom Deli Abu, I can't say his Babu, whatever his name is. He was very much a player that is very highly rated by Watford as one of their wonder kids. We're going to go with their Fentons now. That would have had a massive future for Watford if he didn't do his cruciate ligaments at Reading. We've now signed Babu I'm calling him, Raheem Babu I think his name is, and a left back. Then this is when the experience comes in. We have no experience at left back, so what do? Go for experience. Schalke wanted to keep him. I think it was Schalke or the other club that was with him before. They wanted to keep him for another season, but they didn't want to. They couldn't come to it, which means that he has something about him. You don't sign a left back for 20 plus million for him to not be any good. And that's the one thing that I feel like is good. And we're also now being linked with Scott Dan, who I think is a very good player, very slow, but a very good player, which is also worries me. Why are we going after a centre-back when we have two centre-backs that should be experienced enough to deal with this? That's the core of this. Why? Look, Scott Dan, excellent signing. And I said this, would be a very good signing. Excuse me, I had an itchy nose, so I do apologise. Excellent signing for us. Could do a massive job for us to help us. But if I was Liam Moore or Michael Morrison now seeing that we're signing another centre-back, I would be going, huh? They should be going, oh, well, you can see what's going to happen. They're going to be the ones that are going, why are you signing another centre-back for? Why are you doing this? They should be going, okay, we need to up our game and do better. But I just don't see him doing that. That's why I think Scott Dan's coming in. Bit more leadership. Bit more about him. Played in the Premier League for 9 years. Was at Blackburn, before that as well, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. And then we're also going after Danny Drinkwater, who has got one of those passes and right foots that we all need. A lot younger than what Charlie Adam was. A lot better on his day than Charlie Adam is. But you also got to look on the flip side. And Adam is correct in certain times, would he be happy to sit on the bench? Well, then it's up to him to outwork Laurent and Reno. And it's up to him to get that passing going, to show that he deserves to be on that bit. This is the last chance saloon, I would say, for Danny Drinkwater. His off-the-field issues when he was at Aston Villa and Burnley have not helped him. He now has one last chance at Reading to show people he should be playing in the Premier League, should be playing in there. Then we have a striker. Looks like we're going for a foreign striker. Personally, I would like to have someone that's got championship experience. Someone that's been in it. But if we can get a player in that can do that, then hallelujah. Then we have someone coming in that can do a massive job of what we need. We need another striker that takes the pressure off Puskas, that takes the pressure off João. We have someone different, not a target man, because target men do not fucking work if you're playing a lone striker. So you need someone who can run in behind the defence. Someone with a little bit of pace, someone a little bit about him, some bit of composure. When he's one-on-one, doesn't have to worry or anything. So yeah, so I feel like we need someone that is championship experience or League One, Premier English football experience that can come in and hit the ground running. But probably with wages and how much they'll cost, it's probably easier to go abroad than it is in the UK. So I understand that. And my last point, Paunovic in or Paunovic out. I am, without a shadow of a doubt, and there's not even at this precise moment a thinking coming in my brain for Paunovic out. I am 100%. Sorry, my dog just stopped. Come on, let's go. Good boy. I am 100% Paunovic in. The reason I say that is because of what I've been saying the whole time. It is something mentality that's gone down to the players, and the players need to find a way. And the only other way I can explain it is this: if you look at the history of Reading, and you look at the history of Reading with managers, there's a common theme. The common theme is they come in 6-7 months, do very well, get a few signings under their belt, and are very good. Let's go with Jaap Stam. Got some very good players come in, got some more players, didn't do very well the second season. Then you go with Paul Clement, who come in, got some signings, got us to survival, got a few signings, fucked us over. We go from that to, I think it was Jose Gomez, who come in and refurbished the club. Got the fans back involved. Did it. We were all behind him. Everyone was there. Then 6 months later, he's gone. Then we signed Mark Bowen. Mark Bowen come in, did extremely well. And then he did things didn't do like that, but the things happened with players behind the scenes. Was gone in about 4 or 5 months. Paunovic has come in. Excellent start of the season. Am I saying he has his flaws? Absolutely. Does his substitutions make sense? God, no. But he's come in. He's galvanised the club. He's made everyone behind the scenes feel like they're special. We've seen from Eddie. Under 21s, under 18s, under 23s, everyone. They feel like they have an opportunity to get into the first team. And that's what it should feel like. You should feel like you've got the opportunity to play for the club. Not you're here for the training, then get released and then go play somewhere else. That's not how it goes. So, I am no doubt, he's had a lot of injuries between his time, and that needs to be sorted out. The amount of injuries this club has is atrocious. I don't think, and someone can tell me if I'm wrong if there's a few games, but I don't think since Paunovic has taken over, he's had a fully fit squad. since then, and that's the massive issue. For me, the results haven't gone our way yet. And if you're looking at it, and this is a results business, this is not a personal business. If you're giving him a timeline, I would say end of October, November. Now he has 2 weeks during this international break to get the team going. Do something. He said after the game, it's not a tactical, it's a mental. He knows what it is now, and he wants to fix it. So let's let him. There was a saying my great nan, and this might offend some people, but this was a saying that she used to say to us: give someone enough rope to hang themselves. And at the moment, Paunovic has, 5 or 6 different things he can say what went wrong. But if they're all there, he's had a fully fit squad. His signings haven't pulled off. Players are not backing it. All of that comes into play. You can then turn around and go, yeah, he deserved it. And I think if you look logically, he hasn't. But that's for me. But my last rant is towards the fans. And when we do stuff, and we do stuff together, I don't think there's a better club out there that could do things all together. I will also say as well that I don't think there's a better fans out there sometimes when there's a real bad issue of galvanising together to get an issue. Look at what happened. We were moaning about finances, about what's going on behind the scenes because we couldn't make any transfers or anything. Massive 24 hours there was, and then Reading come out with a statement. Let's go. So when we as fans do things, and at the same time there was a fan, I can't remember his name, that said that he'll be going to games on his own, and we all come together and said, yep, come and meet us. Excellent doing that. Guy buying the donuts on the coach for everyone. Amazing stuff. But then there's this other side, and this other side worries me because we're not getting the fans attending the games for whatever personal reasons that could be. We're not getting people behind the team. We're getting sections arguing with sections. You've got the Y26 people that have been there all their life arguing about Club 1871. Club 1871 saying that they would non-stop make sound throughout the game. And then when we're 3-1 down, have to have a drummer to get them going. You've got Y26 that used to be the vibrant, is now depleted because of that. You've got young kids coming to the ground just looking for an argument and for a scrap. And then you could look at it both ways. Most clubs will have it, and I'm not talking about any other club, I'm talking about our club. And that's one of the things I feel like we've been missing, and then one of the things that I feel like is going wrong is the divide. You've got, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing, depends how you look at it. Everyone has an opinion, which is a great thing, but no one lets anyone else have their opinion, and that's the other opinion, and that's the other issue. I want to see, and I don't know how it's going to get there at any point, is Reading fans all coming together, no matter what's happening on the pitch. No matter what's happening, coming together and actually doing something. Not having this divide. And I feel like that's the only way we're going to have moving forward, is that. And I hope it does change. Everyone knows I love Reading Football Club. Everyone knows that I have a passion for it. Everyone knows that I love the people who interact with me. I had someone come up to me after a Reading game and ask me a picture, which was a bit mental for me, but I'm meeting Vaz. I get to meet Ryan in person now. So a lot of good positives happen. We're all back in the ground. We can all voice our opinions, do everything. But I just want to say, I think we need to voice our opinions at a different direction. I feel like we need to be looking more at the players as a common theme. And I want us to sort of come together and get this club going again. It's 150th anniversary. We're in line with Rangers. Biggest club in Scotland. That's going to trigger a few people. So let's come together and let's build on what we can as a football club and get this fucking club back to the Prem. Tell you what, if I have to see fucking Norwich in the Premier League again with them doing that fucking naff all, I've had enough. Anyway, nice to see you guys again. Hopefully you lasted all the way to the end, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon. But go and follow us. All in the description down below is a way to follow us and a way to do everything with us, to interact. Come and have a chat with me. If you see me at the ground, don't be shy, come and say hi. But you have to buy me a pint. No, you don't have to. Be nice of you. No, you don't have to. But anyway, all love, all care, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon. Peace.